darlings, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm finally here to bring you my review of Our Dark Duet by Victoria Schwab, which is book 2 in the Monsters of Verity duology, but I hope that there is a book 3 because there could be a book 3. It does leave a little opening for another book. I do want to go ahead and say that I did do a full review of This Savage Song by Victoria Schwab, which is the first book. So if you haven't seen that yet, go ahead and click in the cards or check down below and I will have that review linked for you. Now I want to go ahead and tell you why you need to read this duology because it's definitely one of my favorites. Book 2 was even better than book 1, if that's even possible, and I highly recommend it. It has great writing and great characters, and the plot is super interesting. So let's go ahead and jump into my non-spoilery thoughts. To tell you a little summary about what this duology is about, is there is a world where it's kind of a dystopian world where humans and monsters live amongst each other. And the monsters in this world are created by acts of violence. And there's different monsters, and that was one of my favorite things is all the monsters. There were 3 main types of monsters in the first book, and they were all very distinctive. They had their own characteristics, and you really knew what kind of monster you were reading about. So even though there's 3 kind of monsters, you also have a human perspective and a monster perspective. You were never confused. They were very distinctive points of view. In the second book, Our Dark Duet, which is the one I will be talking to you about here today, there are 3 main characters in the story, and they have their each own point of view. One is Kate and one is August. And third point of view is a character from the first book, but I really don't want to tell you what point of view that is. You'll have to go ahead and pick it up and read it to find out. You've seen the movie The Matrix, and there's a scene where the main characters in that movie, Trinity and Neo, are like running through the city. They're like on the phone with someone, and the person on the other end's telling them, go left, go right, go through the door, 3rd door on your left. And you're kind of like, it's kind of like a chase scene, but it's really not, they're not being chased necessarily. That is the opening scene in this book. We are following our main character, Kate, who is a human, and she is being led through the city that she's in by some people on the other end. And it's not until later that we find out that this is a group called the Wardens. And I wish that they were in the book more. They were really only in the beginning part, but I really want to hear more of their story. Start of the book, Kate is in Prosperity and August is in Verity. So when we follow Kate's story, she has decided that she's going to be this monster killer in Prosperity and rid them of all the monsters. And she has teamed up with the Wardens, and the Wardens are a group of college students and a 14-year-old who never sleeps. That was like how they described them in the story. But she's teamed up with them and she's fighting monsters in Prosperity. As the story progresses, a new monster is introduced and Kate kind of stumbles upon this monster. And as she chases after this monster, she realizes that it has slipped through her fingers and it is on its way to Verity. So that basically sums up the whole story. Like, she finds this new monster, she goes back to Verity to hunt this monster down. But of course, along the way, things happen. But some other interesting things is not only is a new monster introduced, but a new Sunai monster is introduced. So the monsters, like August, he's a Sunai, so he kind of has like a new sibling, and I thought that that was very interesting. But also that new Sunai, the name is Sorrow, but they identify as neither male nor female, so they just go by Sorrow, or they are referred to as they in the story. There is also a male-male relationship in the story. It's a side character, it's a very small part, but it is included in the book. As Kate goes back to Verity to warn August that this new monster is on the loose, August and Kate end up meeting up to find this monster. And there is, remember from the first book when everybody was saying like there's absolutely no romance, there is a little bit of romance. And I have to say, I was digging it like so hard. I loved it so much and I was there for it. I shipped August and Kate in the first book, and so when there was romance in the second book, just a little bit, I was so pumped. I was there for it, you guys. I was shipping it so hard. But it's very small, it's very minute. It's like one scene and it's like, it does not take away from the overall story at all. Okay, so the ending. I cried so hard. This book was like so authentic and real. I'm so sad by the ending, but at the same time, it wouldn't have felt authentic if the ending wasn't what it was. And I don't think I would have loved it as much. Like, knowing that this is the ending, I'm like heartbroken in a way, but at the same time, everything's okay. I think that what needed to happen happened, and we got an amazing story with amazing characters, lots of action. I never felt, even on the slower moments of the story, I never felt bored. I never felt like, oh, just get through this chapter. Like, her writing, Victoria Schwab's writing is so amazing, and I loved her characters, and I loved all of them so much. Even the characters that you're supposed to hate, you end up loving. And like I said at the beginning, there could be more to the story. I hope there's more to the story. I really, really hope there's more to the story. But that's all for today's review. I know I had to keep it a little bit vague because it is the second book, but I definitely want you to pick up these books if you haven't already. I know the second book is like over 500 pages because I did read it for Tome Topple, but I went through this book so quickly because it's just so well written, and you're definitely wanting to know what's going to happen next. And yeah, so let me know if you have read this book, if you want to read this book. Let me know all of your non-spoilery thoughts down in the comment section down below. But that's all for today. I hope you're having a lovely day, and I'll see you again in my next video. Bye!